All right, thank you for tuning in to another episode. Let's go ahead and get into it. So you see here, Google has made a bid for NFL Sunday Ticket. Looks like it's definitely going to go to a streaming company. Looks like they're probably going to get double or triple than what they're getting right now. Uh, the games would be streamed through YouTube. um, One report is as high as 3 billion. I think they're getting 1 billion a year now, so tripling what they're getting. Obviously, tripling the salary cap. So again, the $1 billion contract for a quarterback is something that we're going to see sooner than later, which is a great thing. Um, I think that again, I don't think the technology is there for streaming. I read that there's going to be some type of service where you can, work with DirecTV. Um, but I enjoy DirecTV, just the viewing experience. So is just going to be interesting to see how it works when you have it streaming multiple TVs. Uh, I don't know. Maybe I'm living in the past here, which I'm accusing a lot of people in college football of doing, but I've never had really good experiences streaming sports. I just don't think the technology is there or the bandwidth is there in particular, especially for a sport like the NFL, where millions of people are going to be streaming at the same time. What it's going to do to the internet services for people, especially now that so many of us work from home as well. So but it looks like this is what it's gonna be. So we'll see what happens. Just play it by ear. Tre'Davious White, and I think Saffold are starting the season on the pup. So I mean, these seasons are longer. Just adding an extra game feels like it's an extra month into the season. So, hey, if a guy misses a game or two, it is what it is. I mean, the Bills are still, I think, the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl. Their division is pretty soft, depending on what Miami ends up being. I mean, there's teams with all their teams have young quarterbacks, so maybe one of them takes the lead, but I think they'll be all right. A team that I'm interested in, I'm gonna drop their season outlook here, is the Lions. So Jameson Williams on the non-football injury list. What? He tore his ACL. Huh. That's interesting. you know, the way that they're building their team, it seems like they're building their team. Let's get everything else ready. And then when we find the quarterback we like, the table is set. We have receivers, our offensive line is good, defense is good. So that's an interesting strategy. So we'll see if it pays off. I thought they were a better team than I expected last year. So we'll see what they end up doing with that. Let's go ahead and, prayers to John Mechie. Looks like he has leukemia diagnosis, and he's not going to play at all this year. I think he's coming off of a torn ACL as well. So, um, you know, uh, that's tough. Yeah, he tore his ACL as well. So, he's trying to recover from that and doing chemotherapy. I know how the chemotherapy process goes through, and prayers to him. A lot of football players, I forget the one in recent memory. There was another individual who just had it and who was able to work out and keep himself in relatively good shape and was able to play the following year with no hiccups. So hopefully that's what happens with him. No NBA news. Uh, it's a slow time of year. It's just like everything now is football bubbling up, training camps. Uh, Shout out to all the people that watch my college football video. Just a couple of people that left some nasty comments. Like I said with the DirecTV, as long as there, as long as there are those who remember what was, there will be those who are unable to accept what can be. They will resist. like a great man once said that. And uh, I think that, the whole college football thing, things have been a certain way for hundreds of years, and there's been just really rapid and strong changes. It's gone from an argument that players should be played salary to where people were saying, I think really crazy things on the other end, comparing it to slavery and things of that nature. But I do think that the system was unfair, and it seems like overnight, things have changed. And I don't understand people's problems with players getting paid. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You just saw Kirby Smart get $120 million contract. I think you're going to see coaches with $200 million contracts probably in the end of my lifetime. So this is big business, like Nino Brown said. So it's I just don't understand why the people that people come to see are the ones that bother you so much when they get paid. Like if I put a team out there with no head coach, right? An Alabama team, a Nebraska team, Miami team, Oregon, the list goes down the line. USC, if I put them out on the field and say, hey, you guys play this other team, but there's not going to be another coach, right? For the whole season. I think USC's fan base, Alabama's fan base, they would still fill up the stadiums to watch them play. If you take the players out, but just had the coaches there, and say, okay, let's do a battleship version of football. You run your play and I run my play. No one's going to show up to watch that, right? Right? If you don't get the gist of what I'm saying, you come to watch the players. You don't come to watch the coaches. So why is it that you don't have a problem coaches getting paid? Do you have a problem with the players getting paid? Because that, to me, that's what it comes down to. Like, if you're upset with the money in the sport, you're upset with the players getting the money, because the coaches have always got the money. The stuff that Nick Saban was getting, no one had a problem when Alabama gave him the biggest contract. They bought his former home where he was at and bought his new home. No one had no problems with it. The game was the game. When assistant coaches were getting paid millions of dollars, the game was the game. Now, all of a sudden, players are getting NIL deals. There's an issue. To me, what is your problem with these players getting paid? So, like, does it ruin your viewing experience? Do you think the players don't run as fast? The quarterback doesn't throw the ball downfield as hard, or like, I don't understand, like, tangibly what's changed about the game now that a couple players are getting NIL money. So, all right, I saw a picture of skinny Harden. It looks like James Harden is taking his offseason serious, man. Nah, I don't see it. Okay, yeah, so yeah, there was a picture that he took yesterday where he looks like he's really focused on his body. He's really trimmed down. So, everyone's roding off James Harden being the MVP top 5 player that he was before. And I don't know if that's true. If he can get himself back in shape, then you never know. Like, so we'll see. That's very interesting, that he's really focused this offseason. Is this a recent photo? That he's skinny during quarantine and got that all back. That he's focusing on his shape and his weight. I think that he's taken a lot of flack, and once again, him, giving away $15 million that he didn't have to better the team shows his commitment to winning. So we'll see what they end up doing. I think they're definitely a contender, and they have as good a chance as anybody to win the East, especially if he gets in shape. So, all right, slow time. Probably the good time to start banging out these season previews. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock those out. But thanks for rocking with me. The game is the game. All right, thank you for watching this clip. Do me a favor, push the button, hit subscribe. Come on, man, push it.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button. You heard what she said.
Man, do what's right. You heard her. Push the button. The game is the game.
So what's up, man? What's up with you otherwise, The game is a game. always.